Namaskara. Welcome back to our YouTube channel Psychology Patha. I'm a psychologist friend and teacher Shreya. So this week we have come up with a new video which is regarding creative test. So last week we had done a brief introduction regarding what is creativity all about. So this week we have come up with a new video which is regarding creative test. So in this video we'll be talking in detail which are the types of creative tests that are used, some of the examples, and as well as is there any difference between age and creativity? Isn't it interesting? Without wasting any time, let's get started. Let us try to understand what are creativity tests. So creativity tests are basically used to measure creativity, and there are several methods that are used to test the creativity of an individual, as each test is different, and this is a very open-ended question where you can answer in different perspectives. So there is no one correct answer. So it enhances the individual's thinking process because you are able to give different perspective to one problem or one statement. So let us try to see which were the major creativity tests that were used. So first is Guilford Divergent Production Test. So Guilford Divergent Production Test is a test that was used to check the creativity of an individual. He is considered as a pioneer in creativity test, and Guilford was the one who came up with the concept of divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is nothing but thinking in different aspects, like you have one problem but you think that same you give solution in different ways, not just one solution, there are hundreds of solutions for a problem. So this is his picture, and his full name is Joy Paul Guilford. So let us try to understand what is this Guilford production test history. How did it come? How did it come into this field of psychology, and how did it come into the field of creativity in particular? So what happened during World War II is he developed this test and selected certain individuals to enter pilot's training program. That is, he selected few individuals for his training program. So his interest on isolating different types of thinking for different tasks continued after the war, as he sought to understand human intelligence and talent. So basically what he did in his pilot training program is he took few people, he took certain individuals, he tried to isolate them in different types of thinking. See, divergent thinking is all about divergence or thinking in different ways. So he tried to isolate different types of thinking for different tasks to understand the human intelligence level as well as talent. So this is how he came up with the Guilford Divergent Production Test. So next test that we are going to talk about is Mednick and Mednick Remote Association Test. So what is this test? See, we can see an example here. That is, here is another example. Remember, you are going to read three unrelated words. You are to come up with a fourth word that can be associated with the first three. For example, notch, flight, spin. So you can use words something like height, bird, something like that. So here they are trying to check your creativity level. That is, how creative are you in putting the words across together. That is, as you can see, notch, flight, spin. So you may find some word that is very much relatable. I may find some other word that is much more relatable. So here you try to associate the words in a very creative manner, not necessary that this is right or this is wrong, but it is according to your creativity. So this is a remote association test. Next is Valich and Coggan creativity test. In fact, it's a battery of tests. So there are three verbal and visual tests. So in Valich and Coggan's assessment of creativity, examinees are asked to come up with many possible items that are in a general group. So I'll show you an example of how exactly this test is done. For example, things with wheels. Responses could be like train, bicycle, lorry, auto. So these are the things that comes with wheel. So here they have given a general group, that is, for example, name things with wheels. Name things with wheels is a general group. So you have to give a list that comes under. For example, here you can see a train, a bicycle, a lorry, a train, a go-kart, like this. So here, how is the scoring done? So this test is scored using four components. That is fluency. That is, how fluent are you with your thoughts, your creativity, and how are you putting across? Like, is it continuous? Is there fluency in your thought? Flexibility. That is, how flexible are you in putting across your creative thoughts? That is, for example, if you're writing something and you feel that, okay, there is something another that can be associated. For example, a train, a bicycle, a lorry. So you may want to add in between an auto. So how flexible are you? Originality. So how original is your thoughts? Are you that kind of person who is able to come up with his or her own thoughts that are very much unique and different from others? Or are you a person who follows the rule? So here also you can try to understand how original, that is, if you're more original, the more creative you are. Elaboration, that is, how well are you able to elaborate things? For example, if I take an example of a train, so how will you elaborate it? You can talk about the different trains that goes across places, the color of the train, how was the journey that you traveled when you traveled in a train. So you can write so many things, you can elaborate on so many aspects. Or if you write about a go-kart, so what are the things that comes to your mind? It could be your experiences, it could be that you want to just explain about how a go-kart looks like. So basically, these are the aspects that are used to score in this test. So Torrance test of creativity. So Torrance test of creative thinking basically assesses a child regarding how creative the child is, and are often given to children to determine advanced placement or part of an entrance exam. So these tests are given during entrance exam. So there's no specific which entrance exam and all that. But yes, this test is given to understand how creative the child is, how the child's mind works, whether the child is very creative, does he or she has the capacity of being divergent in his or her thinking. So to understand, this Torrance test of creativity is given. Next is, let us try to understand the different aspects of this test. So it includes four main parts, that is, creative titles for pictures, expressions, imagery, and humor. So these are the four parts. So creative titles for pictures, that is basically you are given a picture and you have to explain it. Expressions could be like, how creatively are you able to express certain expressions or emotions, something like that. Imagery and human. Sorry, human, not human, humor. So this test contains two parts, that is verbal test and figural test. Figural test. So verbal test includes seven subtests, that is asking, guessing causes, guessing consequences, product improvement, unusual uses, unusual questions, and just suppose. Asking is basically how would you ask a particular thing. For example, if I want to ask something, there are different ways. I may ask something in a very different way, the other person will do it in a very different way. Guessing causes. What leads to this? That is, what are the causes of global warming? Could be an example. So each individual has his or her own perspective. That is, I have a different perspective regarding global warming. Another person has a different perspective. So there's a lot of divergence in creativity that gets involved. Guessing consequences. That is, if I cut the tree, what happens? There is deforestation, of course. Some may say there is soil erosion. Some may say we will not get proper oxygen. So here you're trying to guess the consequences of a particular event. Product improvement, that is how creatively you promote a product product. For example, if I take a sheet color paper, how will I talk about it? That is square, it's red. You may find it even more creative. So it is something where you are putting your thoughts in a very creative and divergent manner. Unusual uses. What are the uses of a shampoo? I may tell that, okay, I can use it for washing my hair, all that. But there may be people who may say that, okay, after I finish using the shampoo bottle, I can reuse it for something else. That is for keeping my toothbrushes, or I can paint it and use it as my pen or pencil stand. So something like that. It's very unusual. It is out of the box and creative. Unusual questions, that is out of the box questions that an individual asks. So these are the seven subtests of the verbal part of this test. So figurial test is where they are given pictures, and according to the instructions they have to do the test. That is picture construction from a marked cue. Picture completion, again in picture completion you are given cues. Okay, so there may be some half puzzle or half picture and you're given options. So the individual should try to find the right option and write it, or try to put it across. Picture construction is where here also there's like half picture. You have to complete it by the given cues. You'll be given clues about it. So regarding that, you have to do. And then last but not the least is parallel lines. Next is age and creativity. So, do you think age and creativity are related to each other? Many research studies have been conducted on the growth and saturation of creativity. Does creativity reduce with age? Does creativity stagnate? So these are the questions that obviously comes to our mind when we talk about age and creativity. That is, does creativity reduce with age? Is there any saturation point for our creativity? All these are the questions that comes to our mind. But the study, according to Simon in 1990, shows that people age, creativity tends to reduce. But this is really not true, because there are so many studies that oppose this view. Because there are so many artists, scientists, authors who are at 70s or 80s and they are really well with their art and talent. For example, MF Hussain. MF Hussain was a painter. Though he was old, he was really good with his painting skills. Lata Mangeshkar, she was a beautiful singer who sang for ages together. She sang like till her 70s, I guess. So you can see that though here people age, their creativity did not go down, or they did reduce. In fact, they were able to do even better. So basically, there is no scientific proper conclusion that with age creativity reduces. There is nothing like that, because there are people, though they are really old, but still they are doing really well with whatever talent they have in them. So I hope you liked our video. So please do comment so that we can improve upon our upcoming videos. And yes, if you have any doubts also you can comment. Like, share it with your friends or any family members or cousins who are in their second PU, because I'll be uploading videos according to the Bangalore University syllabus, which will definitely help the students. So please do share, subscribe, so that you can go ahead in a proper systematic way, because I'll be uploading videos according to the syllabus. So therefore, if you subscribe, it'll be very very easy to access the material. And yes, don't forget to hit the bell button, because if you hit the bell button, as soon as I upload my new video, you'll be able to watch it and make good use of it. So until the next time, you take care, stay happy, stay positive. Bye bye.